good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Lazaris Out Loud. I kind of just woke up. I'm going back to sleep, too. But anyway, last chapter, or last episode, we finished Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Book one.
So Harry
and then here was NASCAR on.
Yeah, he's watching NASCAR. Phoenix. Convinced him to start this book. I told him there's a new character he's gonna meet, and he wanted me to tell him who, but I said no, you have to read the book. So anyway, we've got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It's book 2.
The picture.
You got the Weasleys flying in the car over England, and Hedwig on the back flying. It's the cover. There are 18...
Are you going to remove the cover?
I am going to remove the cover.
What do you want me to put? Just put it up here.
It's fine. Just wherever. It doesn't matter where we put it. We don't need it right now. Looks like this is the herbology greenhouses on the inside binding.
And I assume that's... Wait.
Yeah, it's the greenhouses.
I assume that's Hogwarts?
It's Hogwarts. It's like the greenhouses where they have their herbology classes. Yeah, Harry met Voldemort. Gryffindor won the House Cups. Quirrell got dead. Voldemort disappeared.
You mean Ben's?
Ben?
Ben's. Professor Ben's the ghost.
Oh, no. Quirrell also got dead. Because Voldemort let him die in the room.
But
Snape was not a bad guy. Ben's is dead, yes, he's a ghost. Oh. Excuse me. Allergies. Allergies.
Oh my goodness. I had the same thing when I came here.
Yeah.
I still have the
Sorry.
allergies.
There's like spiders.
I still have the allergies, Dallas.
Me too. It's not cool.
We both do. The whole family does.
You know. You know, replenish my
You
Zyrtec
do,
supply.
I do, and your mom does, your grandma does.
She sure does.
Everybody.
Alright. We don't have a lot of time, so this is chapter 1. It's called The Worst Birthday. You can see Hedwig. Very beautiful picture of Hedwig. See? Do you like it?
Yeah.
It's called The Worst Birthday. Your birthday's coming up, but it's not going to be the worst. You ready?
Huh?
Are you ready?
What?
Okay.
With the light on?
Because I don't care. It's fine. I can see.
Isn't it light?
I don't care. I can see. I don't. Yeah. Okay. So, the worst birthday. Not for the first time, an argument had broken out over breakfast at number 4, Privet Drive. Mr. Vernon Dursley had been woken in the early hours of the morning by a loud hooting noise from his nephew Harry's room. "Third time this week," he roared across the table. "If you can't control that owl, it'll have to go." Harry tried yet again to explain. "She's bored," he said. "She's used to flying around outside. If I could just let her out at night." "Do I look stupid?" snarled Uncle Vernon, a bit of fried egg dangling from his bushy mustache.
And then make sure you post this one
I will, buddy.
so I can watch it at school.
I know, buddy.
So I can watch it.
I know, buddy. I will.
Because I watch your channel a lot.
Oh, really?
And, I'm just used to watching your channel.
You need a new video?
And I started watching Polly.
Okay.
At school, they let me.
That's cool.
As a surprise.
That's fun.
I mean, I didn't think they would let me watch Polly, but they do.
That's great. So, I know what'll happen if that owl's let out. He exchanged dark looks with his wife, Petunia. Harry tried to argue back, but his words were drowned by a long, loud belch from the Dursley's son, Dudley. "I want more bacon." There's more in the frying pan, sweetum, said Aunt Petunia, turning misty eyes on her massive son. We must feed you up while we've got the chance. I don't like the sound of that school food. Nonsense, Petunia. I never went hungry when I was at Smeltings, said Uncle Vernon, heartily. Dudley gets enough, don't you, son? Dudley, who was so large his bottom drooped over either side of the kitchen chair, grinned and turned to Harry. Pass the frying pan. You've forgotten the magic word, said Harry irritably. The effect of this simple sentence on the rest of the family was incredible. Dudley gasped and fell off his chair with a crash that shook the whole kitchen. Mrs. Dursley gave a small scream and clapped her hands to her mouth. Mr. Dursley jumped to his feet, veins throbbing in his temples. I meant please, said Harry quickly. I didn't mean— What have I told you? Thundered his uncle, spraying spit over the table. About saying the M-word in our house. But How dare you threaten Dudley? Roared Uncle Vernon, pounding the table with his fist. I warned you. I will not tolerate the mention of your abnormality under this roof. Harry stared from his purple-faced uncle to his pale aunt, who was trying to heave Dudley to his feet. Right, said Harry. All right. Uncle Vernon sat back down, breathing like a winded rhinoceros, and watching Harry closely out of the corners of his small, sharp eyes. Ever since Harry had come home for the summer holidays, Uncle Vernon had been treating him like a bomb that might go off at any moment, because Harry wasn't a normal boy. As a matter of fact, he was as not normal as it was possible to be. Harry Potter was a wizard fresh from his first year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And if the Dursleys were unhappy to have him back for the holidays, it was nothing to how Harry felt.
Because it's not it's not McGonagall's fault.
No.
But if the Dursleys, this is true because the Dursleys have to have him back for the holidays.
They do. They're not very happy about it. There's a picture of Harry
So he should stay at school for the holidays?
at the breakfast table, and there's Dudley, fat as a little. He has to go home every summer. It's pretty important that he goes home every summer. Okay, so
Like me.
yeah, you want to go home every summer.
Why?
You want to be home
Why?
because you like us.
And probably miss me when I'm at school.
I do miss
Oh, me.
you.
Today, make sure to stop and pick up that red train.
I will, buddy. Look at it.
On the way here.
I will.
And I'll remind you under the couch instead of.
I know where it is, buddy. I saw it yesterday. Okay.
So yesterday when.
Yesterday when I went over there, his dad said that wasn't it, so. Anyway, let's go back. He missed Hogwarts so much, it was like having a constant stomach ache. He missed the castle with its secret passageways and ghosts, his lessons, though perhaps not Snape, the potions master, the post arriving by owl, eating banquets in the Great Hall, sleeping in his four-poster bed in the Tower dormitory, visiting Hagrid in his cabin in the grounds next to the Forbidden Forest, and especially Quidditch, the most popular sport in the wizarding world. 6 tall goalposts, 4 flying balls, and 14 players on broomsticks.
Hey, we should start doing videos about Octonauts and Polly.
We can do that. It's a good idea.
And different shows after
Okay.
this one.
Okay. All Harry's spell books, his wand, robes, cauldron, and top-of-the-range Nimbus
Do
2...
I have homework?
Yes, buddy, so we need to hurry. Okay, we'll do it later today. All Harry's spellbooks, his wand, robes, cauldron, and top-of-the-range Nimbus 2000 broomstick had been locked in a cupboard under the stairs by Uncle Vernon the instant Harry had come home. What did the Dursleys care if Harry lost his place in the house Quidditch team because he hadn't practiced all summer? What was it to the Dursleys if Harry went back to school without any of his homework done? What?
Well, we can't go back there and finish Quidditch.
Well, Quidditch is only during the year. He's just saying he needs to practice, but he can't.
Because he's with the Dursleys.
They locked all his stuff up.
Why?
Because they're afraid of him. The Dursleys were what wizards called muggles, not a drop of magical blood in their veins. And as far as they were concerned, having a wizard in the family was a matter of deep shame. Uncle Vernon had even padlocked Harry's owl, Hedwig, inside her cage to stop her carrying messages to anyone in the wizarding world.
Doesn't he let her fly?
No, he doesn't. That's why she's making so much noise. Harry looked nothing like the rest of the family.
Why is she making so much?
Because she's restless. She wants to fly around. Uncle Vernon was large and necklaced, with an enormous black moustache. Aunt Petunia was horse-faced and bony. Dudley was blonde, pink, and pokey. Harry, on the other hand, was small and skinny, with brilliant green eyes and jet black hair that was always untidy. He wore round glasses, and on his forehead was a thin, lightning-shaped scar. It was this scar that made Harry so particularly unusual, even for a wizard. This scar was the only hint of Harry's very mysterious past, of the reason he had been left on the Dursleys' doorstep 11 years before. At the age of 1, Harry had somehow survived a curse from the greatest sorcerer of all time, Lord Voldemort, whose name most witches and wizards still feared to speak. Harry's parents had died in Voldemort's attack, but Harry had escaped with his lightning scar, and somehow, nobody understood why. Voldemort's powers had been destroyed the instant he had failed to kill Harry. So Harry had been brought up by his dead... What?
How?
They don't know.
How?
But buddy, you don't know how. It's just a mystery. You find out later on, like in the 5th book. The very end.
So right after this one.
No, a few more books.
And then, as you saw in our last, is this gonna go to yours or is this gonna go to mine?
Mine?
Why?
Because my channel has 3 Harry Potter videos.
And mine has like
Thomas and collars and racing and stuff. Okay. Yeah. And other cool things. Unboxing, yeah. Okay, so Harry had been brought up by his dad.
And as you saw in our, you guys saw in our last episode, we showed you guys the box set of all the books.
Yeah, we did.
And there was like a Spanish section of books.
There was. Very cool. So Harry had been brought up by his dead mother's sister and her husband. He had spent 10 years with the Dursleys, never understanding why he kept making odd things happen without meaning to, believing the Dursley story that he had got his scar in the car crash which had killed his parents. And then, exactly a year ago...
Someone's around.
What?
A truck is around in turn 1. That's Stuart Friesen.
Oh,
I know all the drivers, just basically.
you do. You make NASCAR videos too. Okay. And then, exactly a year ago, Hogwarts had written to Harry and the whole story had come out. Harry had taken up his place at Wizard School where he and his scar were famous. But now the school year was over and he was back with the Dursleys for the summer, back to being treated like a dog that had rolled in something smelly. The Dursleys hadn't even remembered that today happened to be Harry's 12th birthday. Of course, his hopes hadn't been high. They'd never given him
My birthday's coming up.
I know. It's
And I'll film and unwrap presents.
You will. Of course.
And my party is this weekend.
It is.
And if you guys don't know,
We're going to Mini Grand Prix. It's going to be cool.
we're going to Mini Grand Prix. It's gonna be so cool. Maybe do they allow phones?
Do you have our phones?
No, to like bring in.
Yes, buddy.
To like bring in.
Maybe not in the car, but yes, you can bring phones, buddy. It's just a public place. You can bring your phone. It's fine.
And then, so I'm just gonna sit down and wrap presents on my birthday.
Okay,
On my
you do that.
party because I remember one time when I fell down during one of the arcade games,
Oh, that's okay.
and I'm a little bit worried that I'll do it again. So I'll just get out of my that's what I call my chair, and I'll just get out of it and open presents, because then I'll make some videos of what I have for my party on Saturday.
That'll be super fun. You do that.
And then on my birthday, I'll do the same thing. Just sit down and wrap presents, you know.
Okay.
And you guys can, Robbie and Taylor will sit with me.
Okay.
And we're gonna all wrap presents and see what I get. I got some. I had a Thomas series plan. Remember?
Yeah. Can't wait to see what you get.
And without destinations, it's like very hard to do the layout because I need to add destinations to my track so that everybody can see. And again, I will do a video of that, and then just a lot of other stuff.
Okay. That'll be exciting. Okay, recap's almost over. So, of course, his hopes had never been high at Terry's birthday today. They'd never given him a proper present, let alone a cake, but to ignore it completely. At that moment, Uncle Vernon cleared his throat importantly and said, "Now, as we all know, today is a very important day." Harry looked up, hardly daring to believe it. "This could well be the day I make the biggest deal of my career," said Uncle Vernon. Harry went back to his toast. Of course, he thought bitterly. Uncle Vernon was talking about the stupid dinner party. He'd been talking of nothing else for a fortnight. Some rich builder and his wife were coming to dinner, and Uncle Vernon was hoping to get a huge order from him. Uncle Vernon's company made drills. "I think we should run..." What?
Mr. Dursley runs drills at his office.
Yes, and he's about to get a good deal, hopefully. "I think we should run through the schedule one more time," said Uncle Vernon. "We should all be in position at 8 o'clock. Petunia, you will be in the lounge," said Petunia promptly, waiting to welcome them graciously into our home. Good. And Dudley?" "I'll be waiting to open the door." Dudley put on a foul, simpering smile. "May I take your coats, Mr. and Mrs. Mason?" "They'll love him," cried Aunt Petunia rapturously. "Excellent, Dudley," said Uncle Vernon. Then he rounded on Harry. "And you?" "I'll be in my bedroom, making no noise and pretending I'm not there," said Harry tonelessly. "Exactly," said Uncle Vernon nastily. "I will lead them into the lounge, introduce you, Petunia, and pour them drinks."
So this track here is from a long time ago.
Oh, yeah?
And this is NASCAR 2018. There's different series. This is NASCAR Pig Mexico series. So it's in Mexico.
Oh, wow. Neato. Okay.
Neato? What does that mean? Oh, Call around.
Gotta focus. Pretend to listen. Okay. So at 8:15, I'll announce dinner, said Aunt Petunia. And Dudley, you'll say, "May I take you through to the dining room, Mrs. Mason?" said Dudley, offering his fat arm to an invisible woman. "My perfect little gentleman," sniffed Aunt Petunia. "And you?" said Uncle Vernon viciously to Harry. "I'll be in my room, making no noise and pretending I'm not there," said Harry dully. "Precisely. Now, we should aim to get in a few good compliments at dinner, Petunia. Any ideas?" "Vernon tells me you're a wonderful golfer, Mr. Mason. Do tell me where you bought your dress, Mrs. Mason." "Perfect. Dudley, how about, we had to write an essay about our school hero, Mr. Mason, and I wrote about you." This was too much for both Aunt Petunia and Harry. Aunt Petunia burst into tears and hugged his son, while Harry ducked under the table so they wouldn't see him laughing. "And you, boy?" Harry fought to keep his face straight as he emerged. "I'll be in my room, making no noise and pretending I'm not there," he said. "Too right you will," said Uncle Vernon forcefully. "The Masons don't know anything about you, and it's going to stay that way. When dinner's over, you take Mrs. Mason back to the lounge for coffee, Petunia, and I'll bring the subject round to drills. With any luck, I'll have the deal signed and sealed before the news at 10. We'll be shopping for a holiday home in Majorca this time tomorrow." Harry couldn't feel too excited about this. He didn't think the Dursleys would like him any better in Majorca than they did in Privet Drive. "Right. I'm off into town to pick up the dinner jackets for Dudley and me. And you," he snarled at Harry, "you stay out of your aunt's way while she's cleaning." Harry left through the back door. It was a brilliant, sunny day. He crossed the lawn, slumped down on the garden bench, and sang, under his breath, "Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to
And
me."
soon, it's gonna be my birthday, and
No, but right now it's Harry's birthday, and he's sad.
why?
Because no one said happy birthday to him. He has to, so, no cards, no presents, and he would be spending the evening pretending not to exist. He gazed miserably into the hedge,
Presents, why?
because the Dursleys don't like him and they're mean to him. He had never felt so lonely. More than anything else at Hogwarts. More
I
even.
don't live with them, I don't live with you.
I know.
No.
It's good. More than anything else at Hogwarts, more even than playing Quidditch, Harry missed his best friends, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. They, however, didn't seem to be missing him at all. Neither of them.
What are those eyes belong to?
This is a new character you're gonna meet. Neither of them had.
Dobby?
Yes. You might meet him in the next chapter. We'll see. Hold on.
But
No.
those are the eyes of the new character.
Yeah, they are.
And
Oh yeah, it's gonna be the next chapter. Okay, anyway. So, Harry...
her name is Dobby.
Dobby, yeah, his name. Okay, anyway. So nobody's written to Harry, and he's sad. Just sneeze. Oh my god. Okay.
But someone's gonna write to me.
Yeah, just read the book, buddy. Fuck. Can't stop sneezing. They, however, didn't seem to be missing him at all. Neither of them had written to him all
Those are
summer.
the eyes of Dobby.
Yes, we'll show them in a second. Neither of them had written to him all summer, even though Ron had said he was going to ask Harry to come and stay. Countless times, Harry had been on the point
Ron
of...
doesn't live with the Dursleys.
No, he lives at his house. With his family.
Did his parents die?
No, they're alive. You met them already. You haven't met the dad yet, but you will.
Did he die?
No, buddy, he's alive. Countless times, Harry had been on the point of unlocking Hedwig's cage by magic and sending her to Ron and Hermione with a letter. But it wasn't worth the
Did she
risk.
fly there?
No, buddy, she's locked in her cage. Underage wizards weren't allowed out to use magic outside school. Harry hadn't told the Dursleys this. He knew it was only their terror that he might turn them all into dung beetles that stopped them locking him in the cupboard under the stairs with his wand and broomstick. For the first couple of weeks back, Harry had enjoyed muttering nonsense words under his breath and watching Dudley tearing out of the room as fast as his fat legs would carry him. But the long silence from Ron and Hermione had made Harry feel so cut off from the magical world that even taunting Dudley had lost its appeal. And now Ron and Hermione had forgotten his birthday. What wouldn't he give now for a message from Hogwarts, from any witch or wizard? He'd almost be glad of a sight of his arch enemy, Draco Malfoy, just to be sure it hadn't all been a dream. Not that his whole year at Hogwarts had been fun. At the very end of last term, Harry had come face to face with none other than Lord Voldemort himself. Voldemort might be a ruin of his former self, but he was still terrifying, still cunning, still determined to regain power. Harry had slipped through Voldemort's clutches for a second time, but it had been a narrow escape, and even now, weeks later, Harry kept waking in the night, drenched in cold sweat, wondering where Voldemort was now, remembering his livid face, his wide, mad eyes. Harry suddenly sat bolt upright on the garden bench. He had been staring absent-mindedly into the hedge, and the hedge was staring back. Two enormous green eyes had appeared among the leaves.
Dobby.
Yeah, these are the eyes that are looking at Harry.
Dobby's.
Yes, I spoiled it. Okay,
I think he's nice, no?
Harry jumped to his feet just as a jeering voice floated across the lawn. "I know what day it is," sang Dudley, waddling towards him. The huge eyes blinked
Waddling
and vanished.
like a penguin.
He's fat, yeah. "What?" said Harry, not taking his eyes off the spot where they had been. "I know what day it is," Dudley repeated, coming right up to him. "Well done," said Harry. "So you finally learned the days of the week." "Today's your birthday," sneered Dudley. "How come you haven't got any cards?"
Those are Dobby's big guys.
They're very big.
But those aren't Voldemort's.
No,
Those are Dobby's.
those are Dobbies. Don't be Voldemort at the end again. "How come you haven't got any cards? Haven't you got any friends at that freak place?" "Better not let your mum and dad hear you talking about my school," said Harry coolly. Dudley hitched up his trousers, which were slipping down his fat bottom. "Why are you staring at the hedge?" he said suspiciously. "I'm trying to decide what would be the best spell to set it on fire," said Harry. Dudley stumbled backwards at once, a look of panic on his fat face. You can't! Dad told you you're not to do magic. He said he'll chuck you out of the house. And you haven't got anywhere else to go. You haven't got any friends to take you." "Jiggery pokery," said Harry in a fierce voice. "Hocus pocus, squiggly wiggly." "Mum!" howled Dudley, tripping over his feet as he dashed back towards the house. "Mum, he's doing you know what!" Harry paid dearly for his moment of fun. As neither Dudley nor the hedge was in...
Is she at work?
No, she's cleaning the house. I don't think she works.
Oh,
Miss Aunt Petunia.
no. Dudley's mom.
No, she doesn't work, buddy. She's just cleaning the house because they're having guests. As neither Dudley nor the hedge...
Where did he go, Mom?
Because Harry was pretending to do magic to scare him off. He was pretending. But anyway, as neither Dudley nor the hedge was in any way hurt, Aunt Petunia knew he hadn't really done magic. But he still had to duck as she aimed a heavy blow at his head with the soapy frying pan. Then she gave him work to do, with the promise he wouldn't eat again until he'd finished. While Dudley lolled around watching and eating ice creams, Harry cleaned the windows, washed the car, mowed the lawn, trimmed the flower beds, pruned and watered the roses, and repainted the garden bench. The sun blazed overhead, burning the back of Harry's neck. Harry knew he shouldn't have risen to Dudley's bait, but Dudley had said the very thing Harry had been thinking himself. Maybe he didn't have any friends at Hogwarts. "Wish they could see famous Harry Potter now," he thought savagely, as he spread manure on the flower beds his back aching, sweat running down his face. It was 7:30 in the evening when at last, exhausted, he heard Aunt Petunia calling him, "Get in here and walk on the newspaper." Harry moved gladly into the shade of the gleaming kitchen. On top of the fridge stood tonight's pudding, a huge mound of whipped cream and sugar violets. A joint of roast pork was sizzling in the oven. "Eat quickly, the Masons will be here soon," snapped Aunt Petunia, pointing to 2 slices of bread and a lump of cheese on the kitchen table. She was already wearing a salmon-pink cocktail dress. Harry washed his hands and bolted down his pitiful supper. The moment he had finished, Aunt Petunia whisked away his plate. "Upstairs! Hurry!" As he passed the door to the living room, Harry caught a glimpse of Uncle Vernon and Dudley in bow ties and dinner jackets. He had only just reached the upstairs landing when the doorbell rang and Uncle Vernon's furious face appeared at the foot of the stairs. "Remember, boy, one sound." Harry crossed to his bedroom on tiptoe, slipped inside, closed the door, and turned to collapse on his bed. The trouble was, there was already someone sitting on it. Oh my. And there's a picture of Dudley's fatty self stuffing his face while Harry cleans the windows and stuff. So yeah, who do you think's sitting on Harry's bed?
Dudley?
No, Dudley's downstairs. Chapter 2 is called Dobby's Warning. There's a picture of the desserts.
Dobby appears in this chapter.
Dobby's super cool. You'll like him. He's a little bit nutty.
But he's not nice, is he?
No, Dobby's super nice.
Harry?
Dobby becomes one of Harry's best friends. You'll see.
Oh.
At first, we have an awkward introduction. Okay, where's the bookmarker? Anyway, so yeah, it's chapter 1. I thought more happened in chapter 1, but just a recap, basically. Harry's in his bedroom making no noise and pretending not to exist. Anyway, what could go wrong in the next chapter?
Dobby.
You excited?
I cannot wait to read chapter 2.
Cool, maybe we can read after school. Bye. Bye. Thanks for listening.